It's time for the Coach's Corner Show with your host, Pat Disabato.
Hello, welcome to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. I'm your host, Pat Disabato from the Daily Southtown newspaper, and this is a first for us, folks. We are at Bloom Township High School in the Heights. School's only 107 years old. Great tradition in McCann Gym, one of the great gyms in the Southland. Some great players here throughout the years, a lot of tradition, history. So we're happy to be here. Got a great show for you tonight. Bloom Boys basketball coach Dante Maddox will be our first guest. Dante's a 1993 Bloom grad, third season at the helm. Blazing Trojans are the best team in the area, number one, 17-1 overall, 4-0 in the Southland Conference. And we're also going to have on Dante Maddox Jr., obviously the coach's son, junior guard, couple scholarship offers from Southern Illinois, UIC. He's a tremendous player, tremendous kid, and one of the top players in his class, the 2020 class. All right, folks, we are going to go to a Beggar's Pizza timeout. Remember, beggarspizza.com, join the Big Cheese Loyalty Program, plenty of perks to be had. And I'd like to give a shout out to Bloom Athletic Director Joe Rita, good buddy. See you in a little bit.
We came up with a bunch of clever commercial ideas to entice you into trying Beggar's Pizza. We decided to let the food speak for itself.
Hello, boys. I'm a drop-dead gorgeous pepperoni sausage, hold the vegetables deep dish pizza. Just look at my cheese. Your place or mine. Beggar's Pizza. We lay it on thick.
My experience was nice. It was easy, no pressure, easy sales. The first experience was so good that I kept coming back.
When I arrived to Apple Chevy, I was impressed. Just started with my dad, and then my dad recommended me like, hey, go to Apple Chevy, don't go to a different dealership, they help you out.
Having surgery or dealing with some type of nagging pain that limits your function? Then get to Athletics. We offer treatment for all types of orthopedic injuries, work-related injuries, and sports injuries. Therapists with over 20 years of experience provide treatment that is efficient and effective. Our 2,000 square foot clinics offer state-of-the-art equipment from HydroTrack, Blankenship, and Biodex. If your doctor suggests physical therapy, then you suggest Athletics, where every patient is treated like a champion.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. All right, our first guest tonight, Bloom Boys basketball coach Dante Maddox. Dante, how's it going, man?
Going really well. Thank you for having me.
Really well, I'll tell you, man. 17-1, it's doing better than really well. You guys are doing great, man. Have an outstanding season.
Yes, well, thank you very much.
All right, Dante. You know, like I said, 17-1, 4-0 in the Southland Conference. Well, what are you most pleased with up to this point from your team?
Well, that the team is buying in. We have a lot of guys who are able to do a lot of different things, and with them trying to be on the same page and not having ego and not having selfishness and not being concerned with their own individual goals. Yep. I'm happy that they're all buying in and they're altering their games to be able to do what's best for the team. And
that's a tough thing to do, especially in today's day and age, man, with social media and the rankings and all that. So obviously these kids have bought in, and that's a testament, obviously, to your coaching. And you're a Bloom guy, man. You're a 93 Bloom grad, right?
Yes, proud alumni of Bloom, yes.
Absolutely. I covered you back in the day. That's about when I was starting out, man, 1990. So it's a long time ago, my man. All right, so where do you see the biggest need for improvement from this group?
Right now, we're getting off to real slow starts. So first quarter has been a little slow, and then as the game comes, we pick it up and, you know, really establish ourselves. But right now, we have to get off to a better start, and then we have to be a little more consistent.
Yeah.
Right now, I have certain guys who show up on certain days, and then other days they're like playing in the background. And so I need them all to show up on the same days, and when they do, we have looked really good. And when they don't, you know, we've had some close games.
Little inconsistency on that part, right? All right, you know, you guys opened up the season in the Chicago Heights Classic, which, you know, in my eyes, I think it's one of the best tournaments be it Thanksgiving or Christmas time. It is a great tournament, a lot of local flavor here, and you guys won that this year. So how does that competition, you got Marion Catholic and HF and Hillcrest, how does playing that competition kind of get you prepared for the season, man?
Well, it definitely gets us prepared for our conference because we had 3 or 4 ranked teams already.
Yep.
So starting the season off with the top competition, kind of how they do in the NCAA, kind of lets you know where you're going and what you need to improve on. And we have HF, who's our rivals, and then you have Hillcrest, who's plays fierce every time. You have Marion, who's done awesome the last couple of years, went downstate. So just from the beginning, you kind of understand what you're dealing with, and you can build from that point on.
Yeah, you guys are jumping right into the fire with those teams, man. But like I said, it's a great tournament. I look forward to that tournament every year. All right, so you have 4 juniors starting for you, and this is their 3rd year on the varsity. Donovan Newby, Keyshawn Williams, Martice Mitchell, and your son, Dante Maddox Jr., who will be our guest on our next segment. What's been the biggest challenge regarding their developmental process?
To try to make sure they all get what they need and not take away from one another, but at the same time, they each have their own individual goals and they each have their own individual style of play, and trying to get them to mesh it and keep team first. And they all are good kids, and luckily for me, they were raised real well with their parents, so they're not haters. Yep. And they're not in competition with one another, and they actually celebrate one another. So when someone gets an offer, they come and they brag on them and make them feel great about themselves, and that has been the key to us having success.
Yeah, and I remember when you took the job 3 years ago, you made a point of emphasis of being a good person, a gentleman, and hitting the books as much as you did success. So by what you're telling me about these kids doesn't surprise me, because that's something that you wanted to establish from day one, and obviously raising your own son, that's been imparted on him since he was born. So kudos to you on that, man. And you're talking 3 of those 4 guys, other than, Martice, who's 6'9", the other 3 kids are guards, man. So I mean, they're all kind of similar sort of players, man. And I know they could hit some jumpers because I've seen it firsthand. So that's a tough thing to do.
And it is, and the whole thing is this: winning, whether you are a community, whether you're talking about a college, people want to be associated with the winner. Yep. And colleges want players to come in who are used to winning, and so I've got them to understand the importance of winning over individual things. But at the same time, one of the things I've preached from day one is you get your grades, get the highest grade point average, and work hard, then the basketball and scholarships and all that kind of stuff will take care of itself. And I'm very proud of my whole team, but those 4 especially, that they're all in position to be able to receive scholarships, and not just get them, but to be able to receive them, right, and eventually go play on in college.
Yep, be eligible. That's very important, obviously. All right, so I remember also when you took the job, one of the things you were excited about was having an opportunity to coach your son, Dante. So this being the 3rd year with this, man, what are the pros and cons? And let me just say this: every coach that has had the opportunity to coach their son in high school, say it's the highlight of their career. Yes, there are some ups and downs, but what would you say, in the first 3 years doing this?
I think I have to look back on it when I'm past it and out of it to truly enjoy it. Right. Right now, when I'm in it, I'm just focused on him getting better, and him and being fair, and him having a work ethic that no matter where he goes after he leaves Bloom, he'll be able to compete and fight for what he's got. But as far as me just enjoying it, is some of the pros. I can see his deficits and I can speak to him and he can work on them. Some of the cons is it's hard to balance between basketball when you're actually in the school and then when you go home. When you go home, nobody else has to hear their parent. Dante's mom is really, really tough, and she has a high standard, and so nobody else has to hear their parent, who also knows all the ins and outs and what's going on and what the coach is actually saying. They don't have to deal with that, so he does. So just balancing off being dad and being coach. And
it's a fine line.
It's a fine line. It's a fine line. But the main thing is trying to be fair and trying to do. I truly have believed this from day one, and this first time I probably shared it with somebody. I believe if I do right by other people's kids, got to do right by mine.
Absolutely. That's awesome. All right, you know, as much as the hype, you know, those 4 kids get a lot of hype and deservedly so, but you have a couple seniors, Sincere Moses, Imani Burgess, and Kevin Vance, who starts. Obviously, you got seniors that have to kind of put team first, man, because, you know, they got juniors who are getting all the hype, and they've kind of stepped back, checked their egos in the gym, and are allowing this to happen and allowing this team to flourish, man, right?
They are, and they are truly one of the most important parts of our team, because those guys are the toughness and the maturity at times, the maturity and the this is their last chance.
Yep.
So with them, you know, their urgency to win now is there. So that is great, because sometimes you get complacent and guys feel like I got time and they don't have to. But those guys, they humble themselves, they work hard, they're a joy to coach, and I believe that they are a major reason why we got so much better from one year to the next.
Yep. All right, so this school has been around 107 years. There's a ton of tradition. You look at the banners, man, Orrin Gilmore and Joe Chapman and Brandon Cole and Robert McCoy, all these great, great all-state players, but one thing's been missing, that's a state championship for the basketball program. What do you think it would be like if you guys can get this done, be it this year or next year?
I think it'll be awesome. I think it'll be icing on the cake. I think it'll be a tribute to all those guys who paved the way before, to really give Bloom a name. Whenever we go somewhere, people talk about the older Bloom team. They talk about how great they were and talking about how they went downstate in the streak and a whole bunch of different things. But the great thing about being a Trojan or a Blazing Trojan is guys want to come back. Guys are always talking about their heyday, talking about Bloom and the tradition. So for us to be able to do it, or for us to go downstate and win state, that would be something that they all can celebrate.
Yeah, absolutely. One name I neglected to say was Brandon Cole, who was obviously one of the all-time greats who went on to play at DePaul.
And he was here when I was here.
And he was,
that's
right.
Here. Brandon gave me some Bloom pride. He's awesome.
He was an awesome player, man. All right, and future of the program, Dante, you look at this thing, freshmen, sophomores coming on up. Well, what do you see, man?
You know what? We are trying to build at every level. I don't want good teams, I want a good program. And at our freshman level, we have some young guys who are raw, and we're working with them every day. And one of the things that has been the reason why Bloom has had really good teams is because from the freshman level on, guys have gotten better each and every year. Yeah. We take pride in doing that. Right now at my lower levels, we are going to have to develop. Yep. I'm watching, we have to develop, and hopefully we have guys that will flourish by the time they're juniors and seniors. But right now, we are in the developmental stages.
Yep, there's nothing wrong with that, man. That's what the lower levels are for. All right, Dante, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you being on board. And folks, you get people in Heights, you got a very good coach here, but beyond that, he's just a very good man. And that's someone that you want your kids to play for, this guy right here. All right, folks, we're gonna go to Elisa Thomas Salon timeout. Remember, 3 locations, Mokina, Tinley Park, Orland Park. When we return, we're gonna have this guy's kid on, Dante Maddox Jr. Stay tuned.
At Lisa Thomas Salon, we think loving yourself and your selfie starts with the perfect stylist. That's why we've assembled an amazing team, each with a unique passion for beauty, providing the perfect combination of innovation and experience, then adding just a little bit of fun. For hair, skin, nails, and makeup, no one does beautiful like Lisa Thomas, because life's too exciting to settle for the same old thing. Schedule today at Lisa Thomas Salon, a Redken Elite partner with 3 area locations.
Bob's Auto Body and Repair in Blue Island has been prospering since 1968 when Robert Warniak Sr. opened a business. Bob's goal? To go above and beyond to satisfy their customers. Whether it's a small ding or a major collision repair, Bob's is a trained technician and state-of-the-art equipment to meet the high standards their customers expect and that Bob's demands. Bob's also offers complete mechanical services for your automobile, from an oil change to brake repairs. Mention this ad, Bob's will detail your car for free with any auto body work or give you a free oil change with any mechanical work. Bob's Auto Body and Repair, Blue Island.
If you're suffering from physical pain, nothing else matters. The one thing that should is Midwest Orthopedic Consultants, because experience never mattered more. Serving the community for 25 years with over 90 years of combined orthopedic experience, our fellowship-trained surgeons provide individualized care to those suffering from orthopedic pain. We deliver comprehensive care from diagnostic to surgical to rehabilitative services, all under one roof in each of our locations. Midwest Orthopedic Consultants, bringing university-level orthopedic care close to home.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. If you're just joining us, we are at Bloom Township High School in the Heights, our first time taping here, and our next guest, Bloom Junior guard Dante Maddox Jr. Dante, how's it going, man?
It's good. How's it going?
Thanks for coming on board. And you know, this guy, this is what he wants to do for a living. Down the road, he wants to be a broadcaster, huh?
Yes, this is what I want to do.
So maybe a couple years down the road, I may be handing this off to you, my man.
Hey.
You'll take it, right?
Yeah, I'll take it, definitely.
All right, you know what I thought was cool? You and I were talking prior to taping here, and you grew up in this gym, man. I mean, and you said like when you were 3 years old, you were in here, and you've probably taken more shots in this gym than anybody, right?
Yep, definitely. I probably literally taken more jump shots than anyone who's obviously went here to this high school.
So what's it mean to you, man, to be a Blazing Trojan? Your dad was a Bloom grad, 93, man. What's this all mean to you to be able to play here?
I mean, it's really like everything to me. Speaking from a high school standpoint, I never could even really imagine me going anywhere else, because this is really all I know.
Yeah, and you said that, you know, you look at the list of all-state players, some great names. We talked about it with your father, and then you got the Wall of Fame out there, and that's something that you strive for, right?
Yeah, since I was literally a young kid, like being on the wall and being out on the banner is something I always just imagined before I was even able to even really play basketball. I always just imagined my picture being out there and seeing my name, Dante Maddox Jr., up there on the All-State. So, I mean, it's something I always wanted to do.
Yeah, and something else he's done, man. You know, growing up, you told me you were always number 21.
Yeah.
And then your sophomore year here, you switched it to number 12, and the reason you switched it to number 12 was because of your father, correct?
Correct. All the years going up, like you said, I was number 21, and partially had to do with people always, you know, identifying me with my father growing up. So when I went to high school, I said, this is literally, I'll go in his office and I see the picture of the wall, him with the ball in his hand, bringing the ball up the court as number 12, and I say, this is literally who I'm reflecting. You know, this is the shoes that I'm stepping in. And I said, this is a wonderful opportunity for me. So I want to make sure that I represent him and his name to the best of my ability.
Well, you're doing a fantastic job, my man. That's for sure. All right, so you guys are 17-1, 4-0. What's it like being the top team, the top dog in the area, man?
I mean, it's almost surreal. I mean, just last year and the year before, we were freshmen and sophomores just trying to play, you know, trying to get in the game, you know. Between me, Donovan, Keyshawn, and Martice, we were all watching the seniors that year, and we were all imagining, talking about now, and now that it's here, we've been working so hard for this moment. Like, we were ready. Yep,
it's unbelievable, man. What's it been like? You know, you and your dad, we talked about the pros and cons. What's it like playing for your father, man?
It's always gonna be ups and downs playing for your father. From a player's perspective and from a coaching perspective, I know once we all finish high school, he's finished coaching, we look back on the times that we have, I feel like we're gonna be able to sit back and say, those are times that we wish we could have back. But as a player, because right now in the present, I know that he's very hard on me. He wants me to be successful, and he used me as an example. I mean, he's the hardest on me probably than any other player, hands down, because he knows that if I have to set an example, you know, for the team, especially for him being my father.
Yeah. And you've had a couple offers already, man, college offers. I know UIC offered last week, correct?
Correct.
And then you had another offer from where?
SIU.
So Southern Illinois, man. So how's this recruiting going? Is it exciting? Is it nerve-wracking? What's it all about for you?
For me, it's a little bit of everything. It's a little exciting. It's a little nerve-wracking. Sometimes you can be a little anxious, you know, because you see all the other players and you wish, you know.
Yep.
So for me, I'm just trying to make sure I focus on what's most important right now for me, and that's high school. I feel like winning is the most important thing right now at Boone Township. And with all our players, we know that once we win, everything else is going to fall into line. Everything else is going to fall into place.
Yep.
So for me, personally, I'm just trying to go out and play the best of my abilities every time that I'm on the court.
All right, and you talk about winning. What would it mean for you and your your teammates, man, to win a state championship, the first state championship in this school's history, this program's history?
A state championship would mean so much. I mean, almost everything. I mean, we're just, you know, some kids from Glenwood, Chicago Heights, Fort Heights, Stager, Illinois. Just for all the community, because out here, we're all the community talk about.
Yep.
So they all come to the game and they all support us. So the winning not only for each other, which would be the most important thing, first and foremost, but to win it for the communities that are supporting us would mean everything.
Yeah, and the alumni and everybody who's played in this gym, man, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It would feel like that we represented them well,
Yep.
and I know that we will make them proud.
Well, win or lose, man, I think the way you guys handle yourselves, I mean, all the alumni in the community should be proud. You guys are a bunch of good kids, man, academically, athletically, and you guys just handle yourselves with class, man. And I want to say another thing. It's your birthday Tuesday, so big 17, man. Happy birthday, my man.
Thank you.
Happy
I
birthday.
appreciate it.
All right, my man. And this guy's averaging about 14, 15 a game. He stepped it up the last couple games, 25 points, and you know, it's all about the team with these guys, and this guy leads the way, man. That's the thing, right? It's not about me, it's about we, right?
It's about us.
That's it, my man. All right, we are going to go to an athletics timeout. We return, we talk results, players of the week, some other good stuff. Stay tuned. Athletic Sports and Orthopedic Physical Therapy is a 2,200 square foot facility that includes the latest in rehabilitation equipment, including the HydroTrack underwater treadmill. All therapists at Athletics are experienced and offer hands-on treatment for patients that require such therapy. Whether it's your feet, ankles, knees, hips, lower back, shoulders, elbows, wrists, neck, or jaw, Athletics is here to help. We at Athletics understand you as a patient have the right to choose where you receive treatment. Ask your physician if Athletics, with locations in Oak Lawn and Orland Park, is right for you. Whether you're in the mood for a Chicago-style hot dog, Italian beef sandwich, Philly cheesesteak, or charbroiled cheeseburger, Joey's Red Hots has you covered. In the mood for something lighter, Joey's Salads promises to hit the spot. Looking to cool off on a hot day or after a workout? Joey's refreshing homemade Italian ice will satisfy. Come check out Joey's Red Hots at 17400 Wolf Road in Orland Park or at 115th Street and Western Avenue in the Beverly community, where they're open until 5 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. No matter which location you visit, Joey's Red Hots promises to provide exceptional tasting food at an affordable price.
We came up with a bunch of clever commercial ideas to entice you into trying Beggar's Pizza. We decided to let the food speak for itself.
I'm a half sausage for you and your husband and a half just cheese for the kids, who never seem to stop moving. Go ahead and take the night off, Mom. I got you covered. Beggar's Pizza. We lay it on thick.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. I'd like to thank Bloom Boys basketball coach Dante Maddox and his son, junior guard Dante Maddox Jr. for being our guest. I think Dante Maddox Jr. has a career, a nice future in broadcasting. All right, folks, before we get to the results segment sponsored by our good buddies at Athletics, I got to mention, you know, Jerry Colangelo, former owner of the Arizona Diamondbacks, he is also a Bloom grad. Audie Matthews, Homer Thurman. I mean, there's some great players. I mentioned some before, but man, this place is just, you talk about the all-time greats. Bloom Township High School, man, they produce some unbelievable people. All right, folks, results segment. Here we go. Game I was at Friday night, Tinley Park and Richards, and the Bulldogs with a nice win, 72-55. For Richards, Paul Zielinskis, 22 points. Albert Jones, 14 points, 16 boards. Sean Willis, 14 points for Richards. For Tinley Park, Mario Lawrence had 15 points. Christian Hooker with 13 for the Titans. HF 51, Lockport 44. For HF, Isaac Standback, 16 points, 12 boards. RJ Ogum, 14 points. Maureen Scott, 10 points. For Lockport, Jake Carley had 10 points and 6 boards. Tom Ferreter had 10 points. For the Porters, who are having a nice season. Game I was at Saturday at the Hambrick Shootout at TF North. Thornton 81, TF North 57 for Thornton. Ari Brown 21 points. Keyshawn Chambers 19 points, 12 boards. DeMarco Minor 17 points. And Brandon Hall at 8 points and a candidate for Duncan Ear. It was a special, special jam. For TF North, Darrell Reed 24 points. CJ Gilbert 11 points. And St. Rita 47, De La Salle 44 for De La Salle. Clyde Benton at 19 points, 5 boards. Alex Rayford at 13 points. For St. Rita, Jeremiah Oden 19 points. Javon Cooley 12 points, 8 rebounds. All right, the Labriola Bakery Cafe Golden Baguette Player of the Week. We're up. Josh Reddick scored 30 points to lead Mount Carmel to a 62-51 win over St. Ignatius. For his efforts, hook him up with a $25 gift card. Compliments of Labriola Bakery Cafe in Chicago and Oak Brook. And the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club Player of the Week, Kaylee Sheehan had 20 points to lead Lincoln Way East to a 44-41 win over Sandburg. We're going to hook her up with a nice gift certificate. Compliments of Lisa Thomas Salon. All right, folks, going to a Labriola Bakery Cafe timeout. When we return, high and tight.
Looking for a unique dining experience with incredible food? Then check out Labriola Bakery Cafe. Opened by Rich Labriola, Chicago's premier artisan baker, you know they'll have great bread, but you won't believe the rest of their menu. Wood-fired Neapolitan pizzas, fresh pasta, and their world-famous Richie Burger. There's also homemade gelato and, of course, their famous bread. Labriola Bakery Cafe and Neapolitan Pizzeria, conveniently located in the Oak Brook Promenade.
At Lisa Thomas Salon, we think loving yourself and your selfie starts with the perfect stylist. That's why we've assembled an amazing team, each with a unique passion for beauty, providing the perfect combination of innovation and experience. Then adding just a little bit of fun. For hair, skin, nails, and makeup, no one does beautiful like Lisa Thomas. Because life's too exciting to settle for the same old thing. Schedule today at Lisa Thomas Salon, a Redken Elite partner with 3 area locations.
If you're suffering from physical pain, nothing else matters. The one thing that should is Midwest Orthopedic Consultants, because experience never mattered more. Serving the community for 25 years with over 90 years of combined orthopedic experience, our fellowship-trained surgeons provide individualized care to those suffering from orthopedic pain. We deliver comprehensive care from diagnostic to surgical to rehabilitative services, all under one roof in each of our locations. Midwest Orthopedic Consultants, bringing university-level orthopedic care close to home.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. All right, High and Tight, sponsored by our good friends at Midwest Orthopedic Consultants, two locations, Oak Lawn and Orland Park. All right, folks, Bloom, come on, they're 17-1. Let's get out and support this team. I'm talking alumni, I'm talking students, I'm talking the Chicago Heights, Stager, communities. Come on out. These kids, beyond being great basketball players, they're outstanding young men. These are kids that you're proud to say, these are Bloom kids. You know, so it's not a bunch of renegades out here, man. They play the game the right way. They're great students, great people. They're led by a great coach who's an outstanding person as well. So come on out, let's start packing this place. This could be a state championship type team. Worth your time, effort, and money to support. All right, folks, hope you enjoyed the show. Have a great, great week. Later.